Here is Zohran Mamdani writing in X. Working class New Yorkers are leaving New York City at significantly higher rates than wealthy residents. This is according to research by Fiscal Policy Institute. Affordability concerns, especially housing and the cost of raising a family, are major drivers of population loss in New York State. The report notes that 90% of this loss comes from New York City, with Black and Hispanic residents, households with young children, low to middle income families most likely to live. In contrast, wealthy New Yorkers have left the state at much lower rates, with the exception of a temporary surge in their migration rates in 2020 and 2021, likely induced by COVID-19. In typical years, the average New Yorker has been 4 times more likely to leave the state than the top 1% of earners. Now, the response that the CNBC guy would give if he wasn't embarrassed to do it is, but they're poor. The millionaires, they're poor. They don't add anything.
Yeah, 1 millionaire equals like 10,000.
Exactly. Exactly.
More bang for your buck.
And it is indicative of, and then the assumption is, oh, you need rich people so that other people can get money. Because if they're not in New York spending their money, now, to be clear, these rich people are not going to the deli and buying, no. Whatever it is. They're not buying, they're buying high-end stuff that is completely untethered to neighborhoods or other places. They're not buying their, and they may be hiring a couple of people, but it exhibits what that person's perspective of is a definition of a good economy. And whether a good economy is having wealthy people or having just more people live without suffering or immiseration on some level. And the bottom line is, all those wealthy people leave. I mean, Warren and I think Mamdani are careful to say, like, fine, goodbye, go.
I mean, Goldman Sachs.
If they did, you would see affordability increase.
Exactly.
And you would see a just as vibrant city, maybe not with the high-end stuff that you could get, that, like, $500 meal that you really desperately wanted.
Gold
is
sirloins.
not going to be there. But you'd get a much more vibrant city.
But it would be there because New York City
New York City.
I'm saying if they all left.
Yes, in theory, right?
And they're here because it works for them business-wise. They're like Goldman Sachs. They're not here because they want to give back to the city. They're here because they're giant hoovers of money, and New York City makes it able for them to do that.
Right.
Now, here is Cory Booker, who dropped out of the 2020 race very quickly.
I know. When we covered him last Thursday, nobody even remembered this presidential run, except,
he dropped out of the presidential race very quickly. So he didn't split the working class vote there.
But God, if you want to come at me that way, you're going to have to take it up with me.
And here...
I know.
Here he is asked whether he endorses Mamdani. And the question's fairly obvious one because he is in New Jersey. It's a next door state. Much of New Jersey relies on New York for its sort of like economic vibrancy, with all due respect. And
by the way, that tax rate over there in New Jersey is what Zohran wants to raise the corporate tax rate to fund free buses. So, yeah.
And it's a reasonable question because he came out 2 weeks after Eric Adams won his primary and congratulated him and endorsed him. And he's weighed in on, I think, governor's races in New York. I mean, he's done this before. It's completely understandable why someone would ask him this question. And then he sort of comes up with a different answer.
about Mamdani? Are you going to support him?
I have learned a long time ago, let New York politics be New York politics. We got enough challenges in Jersey. I got a governor's race. I'm supporting Mikey Sherrill. I got legislative races. That's where my energy is going to go going into November. New York City, I love you. You're my neighbor. You're about 10 miles from where I live. You guys figure out your elections. I'm going to focus on mine.
What happened to vote blue no matter who?
The blue is Israel.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. There is a dollar figure associated with him not endorsing Mamdani.
Yes.
Like it's just there was a check that came in, just like good job. Thank
Same
you,
with
Corey.
Jeffries.
Thanks for holding the line.
Same with Jeffries, same with Schumer. I mean, man, it is embarrassing that they spent so much time screaming at the left for their disloyalty because they were upset about Bernie Sanders losing the 2016 or 2020 primary or whatever it is. And they just show their ass like this. It's just this is why Democrats have the lowest approval rating in 30 years. It's because people think they're craven liars.
Well, for good reason.
Yeah.
Hey, for weeks, all we've heard is how Trump's big, beautiful bill will cut Medicaid. But almost no one's reporting on a buried provision that would make Trump untouchable. Go to ground.news/majority to see how this bill would block judges from enforcing court orders unless you, the citizen, post a bond first. Highly credible sources warn most people can't actually afford to do this, and that's pretty obvious. So if this bill passes and Trump violates the law, it wouldn't even matter, and nobody even knows, which means the GOP's flood the zone strategy is working, and it's why I think Ground News is the best tool to expose these blind spots before it's too late. My partners built the only app and website pulling in news from across the globe, then breaking down each source's bias, credibility, and the news the right tries to bury. And considering most people take the first article they see online as fact, their browser extension is essential. What it does is it flags the source's bias and links other credible reports to verify the information. Ground News is a better version of how we're already staying informed. So I got you 40% off the same unlimited access Vantage plan that I've been using. That's just $5 a month when you go to ground.news/majority, scan my QR code, or redeem the code majority if you're using the app. With at least another 4 years of this, they're counting on you to be distracted. This app is how you stay focused. Hey folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.